Dr. Kumaran. Dr. R.N. Kumaran, Assistant Superintending Archaeologist, Archaeological Survey of India, Dharwad Circle, Karnataka, graduated from the University of Madras. He holds postgraduate degrees in archaeology, tourism administration, and temple arts. He has actively participated in the archaeological excavations at Thiruverkadu, Mailadumbarai, Sadras, Arikamedu, and Adichanalur in Tamil Nadu, Sravasti in Uttar Pradesh, Dolavira, Kuran, Khirsara, Ahmedabad, and Bharuch in Gujarat, Melkot, Aritipur, and Halebidu in Karnataka. He has published 2 books, Pots and Pots in Gujarat and Excavations in Gujarat, and has written several research articles of international standards and presented papers in national and international seminars, symposiums, and conferences. At present, he is in charge of Archaeological Museums, Badami and Aihole, and is engaged in village-to-village survey in district Bagalkot of Karnataka. Now I invite Dr. R.N. Kumaran to talk on jewelry of the Harappans at Kuran and Khirsara, Gujarat.
Oh, thank you, madam, and good morning, all scholars and delegates and my friends. Actually, it is a joint paper with our director of the excavation, Shri Jitendra Nath, and actually he has not came here, so he has allowed me to present this paper. And during the course of our excavation from 2000, Khirsara, during our course of excavation from 2009 to 14, we had we had excavated a site, but actually it is discovered in 1960s by J.P. Joshi, and he had even find a seal. He had find a seal and some shell compass from the site. And actually Khirsara is situated at a distance of 5 kilometers north of Netra, so it is also known as Netra Khirsara, because there are many Khirsara in Kutch district itself. So it is identified as Netra Khirsara, and it is 7 kilometers south of Rawapur. The site is locally known as Gadwadi and presently under private cultivations. The site actually is a trapezoid in shape and measures 230 into 310 meter. And it is every Harappan site, you know that it is a unique feature, and it is also enclosed by a general fortification wall and with corner bastions and sorry. Corner bastions and salients at regular intervals. River Kari is a seasonal nala, is close just 400 to 500 meters away from the site. You can see here the contour plan of the site, where the site is located and the river is flowing on the east side of the site. And this is actually the satellite imaginary data which we fixed along with the geocoordinate points which collected from the site. And it is another important feature of the site. Before going for the jewelry of the main topic, we have to know about the nature of the site. What is the nature of the site in the production and in the consumption of the materials, all other materials. And it is actually the site, Khirsara is a double fortified wall with salients and bastions at regular intervals. You can see is that actually it's a double fortified wall. This is the actual this is the actual fortification wall, and you can see here the double fortified wall. Actually here the salient is we had found salients at regular intervals. And actually during the course of excavation we had even find the mud plasters. The whole fort has been plastered with mud. You can see here the section of the mud plaster. Actually, here you can see the double fortified wall, which in the first slide you can see that actually the fort is just next to the fortification wall, actual fortification wall. But when you were excavating on the northern corner, northeastern corner, you can see here the fortification, the double fortified wall is running nearly 20 meters, 10 to 20 meters away from the site. And you can see here now the salient is built inside the actual fortification wall. This is the northeastern corner of the bastion, where you can see the fortification wall as second double fortified wall. The second fortification runs along the side and it has covered all over the site. And these are some of the residential structure inside the northern fortification wall, where you can see the multifarious entrances, the post walls, and even the pillar bases, stone pillar bases for the structures. And another important aspect is a warehouse we had excavated we had identified and excavated the site. And it is which measures 12 meter north and 22 meter east west. It consists of, you can see, consists of a series of parallel walls. Parallel walls, nearly 12 to 14 walls of the nature. And you can see there is a air duct and there is a in between bisecting the walls also. And this warehouse is just situated on the southwestern corner, where the entrance is closed. There is actually in the later period they closed the entrance. You can see there are guard rooms, series of guard rooms on both sides. And here there are steps are there, which leads to the warehouse area. And you can see that in the other slide. Actually, this is the closed entrance of the site. And here the series of steps which goes to the warehouse area. You can see here the general overall view of that. And this is a closed entrance. And this is a series of steps which we had found a series of fortifications and the warehouse area. And even we had found the other warehouse also in these areas. Series of walls, parallel walls in this area also. And apart from that, we had found that a citadel, the excavation of the southern part of the mount as rival complex, which confirmed as a citadel because of the nature of the structures and the height of the elevation of the structure over the areas. And even we had found multicolored mud bricks measures 1:2:4 ratio, the actual ratio of the mature Harappan. We had found those areas. And even we had found a circular well. This is one of the complex near such situated just next to the warehouse area, and this citadel is also a separate fortified. And here you can see the main fortification wall of the citadel. It goes up to that. And next to that, we have found a series of houses, separate complexes. Even we have the rooms, kitchens, and you have the steps to move to another platform of the same area also. And each and every house has a separate entrances. And you can see this series of steps which led to the fortification of the citadel wall, so that they can have a view over the structures of the warehouse area or the factory area, which is situated just opposite to the citadel. You can see this is another view of the second complex, where we had found a series of rooms, all those things. And we had found a circular well which inside the citadel area itself. And we had found even the rope marks and the trough here to fill the waters, all those things. And this is another important significant is a factory area which is located in the north of the citadel, just opposite to the citadel area we had found this. And it is meticulously planned and laid with a passage of 5 meters in between the citadel and the factory area, with massive masonry walls on either side. A separate fortification of 3.50 meter was raised around the factory area with the main entrance on the north. This entrance was maintained throughout the occupation of the site on a reduced scale during the latter phases. With guard rooms towards the east, the street was 4.70 meter in width, running towards south. Another entrance with a flight of steps, 5 steps also we had found in the southern area. Actually, this is a general view of the fortified area, factory area, just opposite to the citadel. Actually, this is the citadel wall. And this is an entrance on the southern side where you can go. And this is a copper smelting area where you had found the copper slags and cholas, all those tandoor cholas, all those cholas here. And this is a, sorry. And this is a pathway, actually 4.70 pathway in between the citadel, and you can see the citadel and the factory area. And this is another view of the factory area where we had found here the gold hoard, shell objects, all those things. Here you can see here one of the chula, which are used for other purposes. And this is another view of the factory area where you can see here the closed entrance in the later period. Actually, this is one of the entrance to the fort factory area to go the opposite side, and it is closed in the later period. And this is actually the fortified factory area because there is a general fortification wall of the site. And within the general fortification, the citadel is have a separate fortification, the warehouse has a separate fortification, and even the factory area is also have a separate fortification. Here you can see the various complexes which are engaged in various types of objects for making. One area is especially for bead making, one area is especially for copper objects, one area is especially for shell objects, like that. And even one of the area we had excavated in the factory area, this is actually the fortification wall of the factory area. It is going all around. And when Mark Kenera visited the site, he has identified this four rooms with a outlet as a dyeing vat area. Actually here also it is having the entrance drains to inlet and outlet of the water. And this is one of the area shell debitage where we had found the shell debitages from the factory areas. Where we had, along with that, we had found number of shell objects also, finished and unfinished shell objects. And you can see here the Tribuna pyram of the unused or uncut areas. And here you can see the stone mortar, stone pestles also to use or cut all those. Here from this area we had even found a copper blade. And this is actually I already mentioned the copper smelting area where we had found the patches for using as for copper. And even we had found a terracotta pot with copper bangles and other copper items like chisels and other blades and all those things. Actually, this is one of the important structure. It is also a rock cut industrial furnace just situated outside of the main site. Actually, main outer fortification wall. You can see here the second outer fortification wall is running outside, which encloses this industrial chula. Actually, it is a rock cut one. You can see here the flues, the holes to have the controlled heat over the objects which are kept. You can see have a closer view of the same. You can see here the holes, all those things, and it is of a terracotta. And you can see here it is plastered, and most of the area is a rock cut one. And there are other furnaces also we had found. It is a open one. It is also a rock cut one. Here you can see here actually they are cut into the limestones, and they are plastered with the mud. And this is on a third one. We had found nearly 7 to 8 series of chulas which are kept outside the fortification wall. This is another interesting feature because when they are having the heavy burning objects inside the within the industrial area or other areas, it will maybe lead to the fire hazard. So they kept a series of furnaces, not only the 3 furnaces, even we are 7 to 8 furnaces outside the fortification wall, but they are covered within the second fortification wall. And this is one of the actual, we are going for that. During the course of excavation, we had found hundreds of beads, ear ornaments, anklets, bracelets, bangles, pendants, rings, all those things. And most common material, you all know that bead, they are of varied materials, shapes and sizes. They are generally the whole with the transfers either in a lateral or ventral side, or a string is tied together to make it is a desired shape. Some of the materials, you know, the carnelian, jasper, agate, almost all the materials we had found. And this is one of the important, we had found as in a gold hoard in the factory area. Actually, this part was during the excavation is damaged, and we had found nearly 29 these special beads and nearly 129 micro beads, gold micro beads, and even you have the spiral rings also, which we came later. And we had found the black and white agate, nearly 300 black and white agate beads, banded agate beads. And I think most probably the Lothal one is another site where we had found this type of beads here. And apart from that, we had found the shell beads of various shapes. You can see here the flat circular shape, eye-shaped beads, and all those things. And even they had used, these are known as cup beads, where they had used a natural shell for the decoration, all those things. And apart from that, we had found dentalium shell beads, and even they had used fish bones as a beads, and the bones also they had used as a beads. You can see it is very much similar to the of the shell beads, the shape and in the size, the bone beads. And this is, I had already informed that it is from the gold hoard. Along with that, we had found nearly 300 agate beads of banded black and white. These are the same shape. And even we are also find the tubular beads of carnelian and other shape beads. And during the course of excavation from the hoard itself, we had found nearly 29 lapis lazuli bead, which where on the both sides of the lapis lazuli beads, the gold micro beads has been inserted. And these are some of the faience beads or stated micro beads, thousands of micro beads and paste beads of various shapes and sizes we had found during the course of excavation. And you can see here some of the other beads, the lapis lazuli, carnelian, sandstone, and agate, chalcedony, all those beads we had found during the excavations. And this is another important raw material. We all know the terracotta beads. Here also you can see that tubular beads, just like the carnelian bead, tubular beads. And you can see that the same shape of shell beads and bone beads, there's terracotta beads here, and the gut shape beads of various shapes and sizes, even a small tubular beads also we had found during the excavations. And this is one of the interesting evidence where we had found as a mala, the same beads are kept in a mala, but we had collected and we had kept it for the study, whether there is any string is attached to that. And the study is not yet initiated. Once it is studied, then we can know what is the nature of the string, whether it is a thread or cotton or any fiber materials are used. This is also from the factory area where you can see the nature of the bead, how they are tied and they are used the beads. And next is ear ornaments. At Khirsara also we had found the terracotta, shell, carnelian and copper. The ear ornaments are terracotta of two types. One is a drum shaped with flat ends and a narrow waist for a grip to hold them in the earlobes. The one is a circular ends of varying sizes where the front part was deliberately kept bigger than the rear view with a shallow groove in the middle to hold the device. A copper specimen here are oval in shape with a small ring hanging within it. The second one has a thin circular wire with a pointed end, while the third one is a rough triangular in shape with unsoldered ends. You can see here the unsoldered copper where the section is a triangular in shape, and some of the copper beads of solid ends. And you can see here the terracotta where the earlobes, this area has been kept in the earlobes. The central, the ventral and the rear ends, you can see the flat and the small areas. As far as pendants is concerned, the same type, we are having the different types of materials from carnelian, jasper, copper, shell and terracotta. The carnelian pendant is a flat triangular and another one is a conical shape. Actually, you can see here. Actually, this carnelian one is a semicircular in shape where you can see the grooves here. It's just like a bud shape. Another one is a sandstone. It's a flat sandstone where you can tie the thread over this. And you can also see there the terracotta pendants. Here, sandstone, jasper, and the shell. All the materials you can see the shape, shell, jasper, sandstone, and terracotta, the same. Because you can from this we can also have an idea that this is a popular shape for the pendants in those periods. You can see even the terracotta, they had flat terracotta having a hole in that, and even you can see here the shell where it's a mother of pearl, as a flat circular in shape with a hole on the top. And as far as the bangle is concerned, We are having the number of bangles from terracotta, shell, copper, and faience. It is actually one of the common material we can find in the all the excavations of Harappan site. And you can see here nearly the shell bangles, the important things, because we had find the whatever the number of terracotta beads, terracotta bangles we are found, we are also found the number of shell bangles also, broken edges, but they are not decorated. Only a few are decorated with the chevron motif, like V shape, where the sutures and the whorls are joining. Here, they had make the decoration on the outside, just like a V shape, and all the things. And as far as the terracotta is concerned, some of the terracotta bangles are painted with painted, and these are some of the copper bangles. We had found nearly 20 to 30 copper bangles, but there are some of them are cleaned, and this is one of the, I had earlier mentioned that from the factory area we had found the copper bangles along with other objects, and this is one of the important stated bangle, faience bangle, where we can see the socket. Most probably they had used as a decorated object, where the other socket which is having a groove will be inserted in that, like that they had make a circular one. And apart from that, we are also having the specimen of rings, like the finger rings, ear rings, nose rings, and toe rings of varied raw materials. The finger rings of gold, copper, faience, shell, and terracotta reported from Khirsara also. Even 3 spiral rings from the gold hoard we had found. We had identified that. The specimens of copper, both single and spirals, and they are of circular shape with a spherical in section. Also, we had found. Yes, sir, a few of them are unsolidated ends, like the bangles. A ring of faience is a circular in shape and section. The one of a shell is slightly angular and wavy in design with a polished interior and exterior. You can see here the spiral rings of gold spiral rings we are found during the course of the hoard. And this is a copper spiral ring and an unsolidated ring. And this is the wavy line of the shell, shell ring, which are found during the course of excavation from the factory area. Apart from that, we had found also hair ornaments from the factory area along with other shell objects used as decorated head pieces. Another important thing is buttons. We had found the cornelian buttons of a triangular in shape. It is a blunted triangular, and is a faience. We can see here the designs. Yesterday, Vasant Shinde sir has shown in the floor the tiles. You can see the same designs has been identified here. You can see here the 4 holes are on the 4 sides used as, and here is a shell button with 2 holes. And these are the code buttons. These are identified as a code buttons by Markiner when he had visited the site, and he has identified these 2 objects as a code buttons. And apart from that, we had found the hundreds of drill bits, drill bits of earnestite, along with the unfinished beads, raw materials, even finished beads, all those things. We can see the earnestite materials. And one of the interesting feature is during the course of excavation in the factory area where we had found the gold hoard, we had found a touchstone also. And at the end, the materials vestiges found during the excavation has revealed that Khirsara was an important manufacturing center in the western part of Kutch, engaged in bead making, shell crafting, and copper smelting, meant for trading and most probably with overseas people. Because these materials from the factory areas are raw finished and some are kept in the pots just like hoards. So it may be they kept for the later export to the other places. And you can, if you find, we had found in the factory area itself a circular seal. And we had sent the photo to Professor Akinori. He is of the opinion that this seal with the crisscross is considerably rare during the mature Harappan period, because a few has been known from Sindh and Gujarat. Besides, this seal from Khirsara may be only example with circular shape and crisscross made of statite, because most of the seals with the geometric motifs from mature Harappan period are carved with swastika. You can see here the crisscross lines. One example from the mature Harappan level at Kot DG as a similar type of crisscross but made of terracotta. The presence of this seal at Khirsara may suggest that the western part of Kutch had a strong connections with Sindh during the mature Harappan period, as other archaeological evidences points out. The presence of this type of seals with geometric motif during the mature Harappan period is important in the sense that they represent inter-regional connections and interactions distinguished from the ones represented by the seals with the animal motif and inscriptions. Because from the factory area, we had found a number of seals, nearly 10 seals we had found, that the bar seals and with the unicorn seal and other the general seals with the crisscross lines. And this is another important seal where we had found the circular seal circular in shape. We had found rectangular and even the oval shaped seals here. And yes, thank you.
Check. Hello, Dr. Kumaran. My only one question and one information. My question is that you got this type of stone double, double fortification.
Yes, sir.
Did we get similar thing from any other site like Kuran or any other site in Gujarat?
No,
And,
we are not. Okay.
The second, information is that you showed one wonderful gold necklace, flat beads, very similar with the Lothar. So we also have similar type of necklace, but in silver, two from Kunal, excavated by Dr. Sharma and Acharya, long back, 86, 87. Dr. Manmohan Sharma, father, that Sharma.
Okay.
He was archaeological officer in Haryana. Then I and Dr. Bist went to Mandi and we brought some silver ornament, gold ornament, 13 kg and total was 80 kg. Largest hoard of gold from Mandi. That is the National Museum in ASI. There also we have some broken flat silver beads. That
Okay.
is in National Museum. Thank you.
From other sides in the Kutch district, we have not found this type of parallel walls, the second fortification wall, which encloses the actual fortification walls. In Junikuran also we had excavated, but there also we had not found this type of double fortified wall, which covers the outer fortification wall as well as the other important structures, just like the furnace, industrial furnaces, all those things. And the gold bits during our course of report writing is going on. Once it is completed, then we will add those things which you had mentioned about the Kunal and other sites, about silver materials. Yes, sir. Sorry. Madam, actually we had found in other Harappan sites also we had found that on the entrances, on both sides of the entrances we had the guard rooms, because those guard rooms are separate and they are not interconnected. They have to go one by one. So based on the other sites, we had have inferences that this is a guard room. Yes. Yes.
One is like, how far is Khirsara from Lothal?
Lothal, both are in different areas, madam. Lothal is it is near Ahmedabad. It is Khirsara is in Kutch district.
Kutch.
From Kutch, it is a 90 kilometer. 90 to 100 kilometers.
So there is
Towards
no
Rao.
contact between the two?
No, there are no contact
No
between
trade
them. No.
contacts or anything like
No,
that?
they are actually having the trade contacts with the overseas people only. But we had seen the materials related to the same, the tubular beads, carnelian tubular beads, etched carnelian beads, all those things. Even the gold beads, the special gold beads, also typically we had found the Lothal itself.
Yes, yes.
And here also we had found, this is the main one.
Yeah.
Apart from that, even the citadel area, this is interesting to inform you, at the time I had forgotten that. Even in the citadel area, it is a raised and high elevated, just like a Lothal.
Just like Lothal.
Just
That
like
is
Lothal,
why
it is a elevated area.
I could see some of those,
Actually,
comparisons.
in one of the index trenches, we found the sandstone rock. Actually, they had cleverly used the sandstone high elevation for their citadel area. Purposefully, they had made it as a citadel area.
Yeah. Thank you.
Dr. Kumaran, what do you mean by dentalium shell beads and paste beads? And that's one question. And another question is, Khirsara, what was rather unique about Khirsara was that each segment had its own fortification wall. The citadel had its own fortification wall. Then the warehouse had its own fortification wall. The factory area had its own fortification wall. Even the potter's kiln, which you now say is industrial furnace, had its own fortification wall. Then everything was surrounded by a separate fortification wall, big fortification wall. Why did they have so many fortification walls? Each area having its own fortification wall, and then a big fortification wall surrounding the entire town. What was the threat they feared? Is it floods from Khirsara Kari River, or from animals, or attacks from somebody?
No, yes, that is a good question. But actually, the threat is due to the flash flood, just like Dholavira. Here also, we are having the same seasonal nala on the eastern side. During the course of excavation, the eastern side of the fortification wall has been much damaged. And even for the periodical periods, they have raised the walls. And even the section has shown that the deposit of sills and the stones, all those things, the flood deposits we had found in the citadel area, in the deep trenches, as well as in the fortification wall area. The sections has clearly shown that the threat is this a natural disaster of the flood due to the flash floods from the eastern side. Apart from that, we don't have any external forces, all those things, because from there 30 kilometers, the another side, Desalpur is situated. So there is no such threats for them from the external peoples, all those things. But they have decorated the site along with that for separate fortifications for a warehouse area, and even for the citadel and for the factory area also they are having a separate fortification. And even we had excavated only just 20% of the site, but nearly the next 80% will show the other evidences, what is a natural threat and why they had done the separate fortification wall, all those things for every site. That as far as the dentalium shell, it is also natural occurring material. Natural is a shell, just like a shell. It is known as a dentalium shells. That is it. Yes.
Button in the picture. So it shows that the textile culture and craft was extremely highly developed. Are there any books about the textile history of Harappan? Do you know anything about it?
No, sir. Yesterday also some of the scholars, Shinde and others, also shown that the cotton they had found, cotton threads they had found. Here also we have identified one structure as a dyeing wort. So most probably they are also having they are used the area for the cotton, all those things. They know about the cotton because now also the Kutch area is famous for cotton, the areas. So most probably they had also used a cotton or wool, anything. Which one, sir? Sure. Ah, yes, we are also having. Oh, yes, sir. We had found that.
I don't know whether it was asking for a shirt, because we have not seen tailored shirts. So, cotton may be just a decoration also, which you stitch onto a cloth. So we can't really, I don't think we can really call it a shirt, because even the terracottas and the stone and all don't show anybody in shirts.
No,
No, but even the women are not dressed in salwar kameez or something with a shirt. So it's a decoration, exactly.
so actually for these type of the beads, the heavy beads, actually these are weights also there. So it may be used for a coat or something like that, made of wool or something, the tanned leather, all those things.
It's a small observation, not a question. Kumaran, actually, when you were replying to Dr. Chudamani, there is connection with Lothal
Yes,
for every site located in Kutch. Because Lothal is closer to Rajpipla, Ratanpur, Agate Cornelian mines.
Cornelian mines.
Okay. And the Agate Cornelian analysis from Dholavira clearly indicates that they came from Ratanpur.
Okay.
Okay, so Lothal was established mainly with an intention to procure the raw materials like agate carnelian and it reached every site along the Gulf of Kutch and also every site located in Kutch district. So Khirsara, it definitely had connections with Lothal, right? I mean, we can't say it did not have any contacts with Lothal. It had contacts.
Okay.
Actually, these sites, no, site is an island. Actually, we have a huge cultural network, cultural or interaction network linking all. If you take any other culture, so that network really powered. We should see that. Sometimes you may not find direct evidence. Sometimes in terms of material culture, it's a network. Communication is very vital for culture. I think that network may not be visible. It definitely did. That is why we have similar things occurring. So communication is very vital. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Sir.
Sir, you said the bangles are made by terracotta and it was painted. What kind of materials they are used for painting? Whether it's a natural dye or pigment color?
It is a natural dye only. Natural dye.
Okay.
Not they are not using anything. This is a natural color which had hair also. Morning as told the hematite they had make the paste like that. Just like that red ochre color we had found on the shell bangle, decorated shell bangles paintings.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Oh yes sir, spiral ring. Yes sir.
So where did the Harappans source gold from?
Sir, we had not done any mineralogical study, but yesterday from local elements we had found it is from Hatti mines. So once the study is going on for the report writing, once it is finalized, then we will also clearly told that whether it is from Hatti or Kolar mines from Karnataka.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.